today's video, I'm going to be talking about some stocks that still have a lot of upside potential, even though we had a really nice day in the market today. So before we get into it, if you enjoyed these videos, feel free to drop a like and hit subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And check out the links in the description to the Discord, the Weeble referral link if you want to sign up with them and get some free stocks, as well as the Patreon where I do send out morning updates, what I'm watching, and buy alerts as well. Now let's get into it. So we had a big day in the market today. We had SPY touch all-time highs, QQQ end the day at 318, and basically I just wanted SPY above 390 to hold and tech above 316 and hold. So very bullish day, and those of us who have been buying the dip really got to enjoy the day and all the green that came with that. So when the media is trying to scare you out of buying the dip or panic selling your stocks, don't listen to all that influence. Just stick with what you know, average into the market, and it will pay off. So those weeks that, my account was bleeding as well, I just kept averaging into my favorite stocks, and it really did pay off on a day like today. Now, we also had stimulus signed, which is bullish for the market. Those checks should probably come this weekend or early next week, and I'm sure some of that money will go back into the market, which is, again, going to take us higher. Now, the next number I'm seeing for SPY, the investors really want that 400 number. That is a huge milestone. So that could come in the coming weeks or months, but that is the next number I'm looking for. But I did want to get into, what could potentially happen tomorrow and in the coming weeks, and some stocks that I still see a lot of upside potential with. Even though we did have a bit of a recovery today, there's quite a few stocks out there that are down on their 1 month chart still. So this video is going to be based on percent declines on the 1 month chart. These are just my ideas and stocks that I'm watching at the moment. And I like these for swings or options plays because I typically play far out, and these are somewhat inexpensive. They're all pretty much $45 or less. Now, we had that confirmed uptrend today. However, with SPY hitting all-time highs, we could see cooling off or even flat on a Friday, typically low volume. And if we did have a little bit of a pullback, that could present a great time to scale into these positions that still have a lot of upside left. Now, I like doing this because I don't necessarily always need to catch the bottom. You want to catch the uptrend. It's okay to miss out on a little bit of profits as long as you time it correctly. It's all about timing. Instead of getting in early, you want that confirmation that you got in at the right time. So we also do have volatile events still coming up. We have the FOMC vote. I've been talking about that. And we have quad witching on 319. So I typically like to play far out. That way these events won't really mess with the contracts that much. First up is NEO. Now this in the low 30s was an absolute steal. Under 40, still great. And even at its current price of $45, there's still a lot of upside left for NEO. So on the monthly chart, still down about 22.81% or 1355. NEO had a great day, but I still see more upside to come, 50 plus in the coming weeks and months. I see NEO having a great year, and this article did come out talking about all the Chinese EV, but it's talking about how NEO expects to deliver 20,000 to 20,500 cars in the March quarter, higher than the December quarter. So that's, some bullish news there. And if you were to start a long position, I think $45 or less is a great spot to buy. It's very oversold, and NEO should do well. If you were going to take options, I would play out to summer or further. I like to play 4+ months out, give myself plenty of time. Or you could play something like a 45-50 spread out to April. You'll likely be in the money with that, and that protects your contracts from volatility. Second up is PLTR. So they had a pretty good day today, up about 8.4%. Now, I was buying this one on the dip all the way down, around that 21 to 23 range was a really solid place to buy, especially for the long term or getting some leaps. Now, we do have an event for PLTR coming up on 4/16. This is going to be demo day part 2, I believe. So it's going to be interesting to see if this plays out like the first demo day. Early January, PLTR didn't do much, kind of traded sideways in this same range for a while. Leading up to demo day really took off, and it was a bit volatile after the event. So definitely going to be watching for that as well. And PLTR had some news this morning. They got a long-term strategic partnership with, I'm not sure if I'm saying this right, Faracia. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but 6-year strategic partnership with them. It's just positive news, another positive catalyst for them. I'm not sure if that's what moved the stock or just the overall market picking back up and recovering off this dip. But PLTR is still down 18.47% on the month, so a lot of upside left. I really like this one. I think it's going to break out back over $30 in the following, weeks leading up to that event. I could definitely see that. So I'm adding PLTR on the dips, and we'll see, if we pull back. Third up is STPK. This is currently a SPAC, and I believe this will probably announce some sort of a merger vote come April. Now, on the 1 month chart, they're still down about 10%. I did call this one out in the previous days, and since then it has recovered quite a bit, but from their all-time highs they're still down a good amount. So this was recently $49.97, what is shown on here. So there's still some upside here. I do believe that we could see $40 pretty soon here. It is forming a cup and handle on the chart. Things look pretty good. I think people are going to buy this one up very quickly, and this is actually a really solid SPAC and company. So this is one to continue to watch, although it isn't as down as it once was. I still wanted to mention it. All right, now we're going to just quickly touch on a couple of stocks that still have a lot of upside potential here. Fubo, not one that I'm that into, but this would be more of a swing trade or a trade. On the month, still down 26%, even after a day like today. Recently, they were in the mid 40 range, pretty much where Fubo was living for a while. A lot of upside potential here, upon that reversal. Decent day today, up almost 12%, and still has a lot of upside. Jumia on the month, still down 20%. Great company, recently in the 60s. This is like the Amazon of Africa. Really great company, and when it dipped recently down into the low 30s, I think that was a really great dip buy if you did get in and go long on them. Another one is BFT, recently down in the $12 range. Super solid company. This is currently a SPAC. March 25th is the merger vote, and I believe, this should see $18 to $20 pretty soon here, and maybe do better post-merger. But with SPACs, you never really know how things are going to go. But currently under $15, I don't really see much downside here, especially for a company like PaySafe that a lot of people are attracted to, iGaming and fintech. Then we have ACTC on the 1 month chart, still down 20%. This is a $23 to $25 SPAC in my opinion, and I do see them returning to that very shortly here. Proterra is a very solid company. A couple more stocks that I'm watching, just to go over very briefly here. PSTH, this one's now only down 5% on the month, but still a lot of upside here. Recently dipped to $24, which is actually near NAV for this SPAC. This is the bet on Bill Ackman, and I believe we're going to get an announcement pretty soon here, maybe 1 to 2 months. I've been patiently waiting on this one since last year, just parked in it, and I'm in June 30 calls, so just going to stay patient, because once he announces a definitive agreement with what he's calling a unicorn, I do think this will fly. Then we have IPOF, and I chose this one over IPOD because this is going to be the largest social capital SPAC to date. Recently dipped to near NAV, and since then has recovered a little bit, but still limited downside risk, still down 18%. And upon some rumors or even an announcement, this should fly over $15 easily. Now with IPOE having the vote come up in early April, you could expect another announcement for one of the social capital SPACs pretty soon here, and they tend to trade together. Then we have Open Door, who had some rough earnings plus the overall market sell-off, go from the mid 30s, dip all the way under 20, and since then recover a little bit, but still down quite a bit. You can see 26% there. This is one I would consider to buy at this range, or even maybe if it did pull back a little bit. Whether you're long or short, I think this would be a great opportunity. Last up is Danimer Scientific. The reason I'm mentioning this one is because recently it was in the 60s, then sold off down below 30, and it's actually recovered quite a bit, but still down 30%. Could create an opportunity here. This is on more of a trading list for me. So finishing things up, I'm going to touch on a couple more stocks, but these are a lot pricier than the stocks in this video that I've been talking about. So I do suggest either just adding shares or playing spreads. I prefer to play spreads on higher price stocks because it really does limit your downside risk, and it's cost efficient. So Teladoc Health is still down a lot from its recent highs. So $84 haircut on Teladoc Health, still down 30%. This is one of ARK's favorite holdings, and I do see this recovering nicely in the coming weeks. So definitely been adding shares of this one and going to keep them on watch. Then we have Lemonade. I did call this one out this morning, under $100, and it really did take off today, but still Even at 107, there's a lot of upside potential here because it's still down about 35%. So $57 off the highs or off the monthly high. And I could see this easily going back, flying past 115, flying past 120 in the coming weeks. So keep Lemonade on watch. I just have shares right now. Chewy was a great dip buy around $80. Had a pretty decent day today, up about $6 on the day. And this was recently in the hundreds. So on the monthly chart, you could see down 24%. Chewy is one that I will definitely be watching. I think that's actually a really cool company. And then we have Tesla, of course. Tesla on the month is down 12%, so it has recovered quite a bit. Tesla did just recently have like a $100 day, I believe on Thursday or Wednesday. Still down $95 though. So once Tesla really confirms that uptrend back into the 700s, this one will be fun to play debit spreads on. Obviously, we're all watching Tesla, and I did add shares on the recent dip. So that's pretty much it, guys. This is just what I'm watching and some plays that I wanted to share. You know, the market did have a really big overreaction, so we could have some really great plays in the near future, but we do need to, you know, be prepared for these upcoming volatile events, the FOMC voting, the quad witching. You know, we want the market to hold, so we have to continue to monitor it. We don't want to hop into too many plays at once. Don't want to overextend yourself in the market. So always keep buying power. These are on a trading watch list for me, and that's what I am going to be likely playing in the near future. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and have a good one.